Okay, now we get into the ES6. So basically, ES6 is we're going to do the same thing, but the syntax is going to be different. Okay, but under the hood, all things are going to work as what we learned from the ES5. But syntax is going to be very easy to create some object or a prototype or whatever. Okay, I'm just going to create the same prototype and the object method what we did so far. So the person now, I'll take this as an example. Okay, the same thing we're going to create in a ES6 version. Okay, so that you can able to understand easily. So I'll just create, put dot slash 6 ES6 classes. So this is classes. Okay, so basically another programming language have, if you want to create an object in Python or Java, you usually learn about the classes keyword. Okay, they used to form the object using the class keyword only, but here we don't have classes in ES5 version. Okay, so that what we did, we just created the function constructor using the function and the person name, and then we made a person here using the new keyword, so that it created the new object. But the ES6 version is something different, not a different, it is usually kind of good constructor. Okay, how these things are working. So if you get into React, you almost see the ES6 version of syntax only, so we cannot able to learn, we couldn't able to see any ES5 version and all. Okay, so what I do, I'll just create a class here, the class name this person. So this person is going to have, okay, so here you see, I'll just close all these things. Though this is the person, so I made a class here, person. This person is going to have a constructor. What are the constructor? The constructor is, this is the constructor. That's what we are saying, function constructor. Okay, so if I come back here, I'll just use a constructor. The thing I'm going to pass to this constructor, just this first name, last name, and DOB. The same thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to change anything from this, but the syntax is going to be very, you should want to understand there is no difference in the two things working under the hood, but the syntax is going to be very okay. Here the step what we're going to do, so we'll just set some property to this constructor, right? So the first name equal to first name and the last name equal to last name, and this start birthday, we created a new date using the date object in this JavaScript. Okay, so everything is cool. So then here you see we have the prototype outside of the function constructor, and we used to call the person dot prototype dot calculate age equal to the method. But here this is not like that. Okay, what I do, I'll just go and copy this. Okay, we don't have a greeting right here. Okay, we'll just get this one. Okay, I'll just get this one, calculated age. I'll just take this, come back, I put here. So instead of function, we don't want to pass the function here, we can directly call calculate age. It takes a difference date dot now, this dot birthday, age, return, the same thing. Okay, there is no logic difference and all, but just only the syntax is different. So here I'll put greeting. So this greeting takes return, return, put hello there, and this dot first name, and this dot last name. Okay, so we have greeting and calculate age method. So then we have, what are the methods we have here? So we have a get married, so we'll take this one, we'll take this get married. Okay, so we have, so three things. Okay, so three methods we have. One is greeting and calculate age and get married. So okay, so how can I now create a object using this class constructor? So we'll check that out. So if I go and put console.log person, we'll check what is the person gives back. So it returns what? The actual code. You see, it's returned when I put the person, this person is basically returning all the code what we have inside this class. Okay, so what I'm going to do, instead of doing that, I'll just going to create the Mary object. The Mary takes a new person. Okay, so when I give new person, if I try to console log the Mary, So what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get the person object. You see, when I used to put the new keyword, this class is basically converted to an object when I used to put new keyword in front of the person. Okay, so it's returned me back as a empty object. Okay, this as birthday, first name, last name with the undefined value, but we have not passed anything here, right? So if I pass something here, for example, Mary, the second step is Williams, and the third one, the date, I'm just give some random, I think this is 25 1990, like this. Okay, so if I pass this, I'm gonna get the, now I'm not going to see any undefined value because we define something to this variables. Okay, so if I come back here, I'm gonna get Mary, the Mary Williams, and the object I have the birthday. Okay, so you see, instead of we basically last time we did function constructor using the, we pass all these first name, last name, dob, and we set this dot first name to, this is going to point to this person object only because this function is now an object. So when you use this inside the function, so what, where it's going to point to, it's going to basically point to the person, the person first name. We have the we creating the property equal to the value what we passing to this argument. Okay, so we set some three properties here. So we created prototype using like this, the same thing we did here, new person passing all the requirement field of the argument. This basically returns the same object what we did. So basically we also added the Mary, I think, right here we added the Mary. So here the same concept, but the syntax is different. You see, class takes the person instead of function, the constructor takes first name, last name, dob, and then we set some property, then we added some methods. Okay, so how can I use this method? Okay, so if I open this prototype, I can have all the methods inside the prototype only. Okay, we have not called any dot prototype or anything in the class. Basically, we created the prototype inside this class person. So what, where the methods are actually sitting inside the prototype only. So if I going to access any one of these property, sorry, in the method, I'm gonna be able to access this method, right? So if I come back here, so if I want to get check the Mary dot greeting. Okay, what the Mary dot greeting is returning basically. So you see, it's returned hello there and the first name and the last name. What is the Mary first name? Mary and William. So if I save this, I'm gonna get hello there, Mary Williams. Okay, so you see this is basically very neat, very clean things to doing of coding. Okay, you see this file is kind of messy, right? So using person dot proto like that, but this is something clean. So the person has some property and this has some each methods. Okay, so if you want to put other methods here, for example, we'll put we'll choose that calculate age. So the calculate age, I can pass this. If I get 31. Okay, so we already passed the date here, so it is going to calculate the difference between the age from now and before. So we're gonna get 31. So okay, everything is fine. Okay, so this is how these things are working. So there is another method, so you can create a method called static. Okay, so I'll put some, for example, I'll put some add numbers here just for a simple example. So if using static, okay, x and y, so if you're using static, the static is basically going to have all it's going to have the common method to every object, the person object. Okay, for example, here we cannot able to use this like this or the keyword, because this is going to be common to all the object. For example, I don't know how do I give the example where they use. So basically, for example, if you want to get the people id or something, oh no, in the id also we need to push the, so okay, I will give you this example later, no problem. Okay, so for now I'll just give the static takes the add number x and y. I'll give you the example later. Okay, so this return x plus y. Okay, inside the static you should not want to use the this keyword, only this method going to take the this kind of keywords. So if you're using the static, this should not take any this keyword inside this function. So if I come back here, if I put Mary dot what is that name we created, add number, add number. I think we cannot do this Mary, right? Yeah. We cannot do this Mary. Person dot add number. We cannot call the Mary here. Okay. We should call this person dot add number. Okay. Because that's why we cannot able to use the this inside this prototype. Basically, this is going to point to the person. So now this is not this method is going to same for all the object. Okay, this is not going to change anything, the age or the name or the gets married or not. It is going to be same for all the object what you're going to create using the new instance of this person. So it should be same. Okay, so if I pass 5, then 5, I'm gonna get return, right? So I want to put that inside this console. So if I put this, so I'm gonna get the 10. Okay, so this is common for all the object. We cannot able to use Mary here. So if I used to put Mary, I get Mary add number is not a function. Okay, because this, when you use the static method, the static keyword, the static is going to common for all the object what you're going to create using this new keyword, so that we cannot able to use the Mary. Instead of Mary, you should want to call the direct class name of the person, and then you want to call add number. So this is going to be same for all the object what you're going to create, even that is 1000 or 10,000, whatever. So it's going to be the same. If you want to have some number to add for the all the person object, it's going to be same. So if you want to call person dot add number, so it's gonna get 10. Okay, so this is how we created using the like classes. Okay, so what I do, I'll just give you the example of inheritance. Okay, I'll just put subclasses. It is very easy. Is sub jeez. Okay, so I'll put here. So the subclasses is basically inheritance, the thing what we learned from here now. So we created the person object, so it has customer. We call all the methods from the person methods and property from the person object, right? The same thing what I'm just going to do. So what I do, I'll just create a function here, not a function, class. So class takes a person. So this person gonna have the constructor. Okay, every object is going to have the constructor, remember that. First name, then last name. So here we're going to set some property to it. This dot first name is equal to the first name what I'm going to pass. Then this dot last name is equal to last name. Okay, that's cool. We created some properties. Okay, so that's cool. Now I'll just add some greeting here. Greeting. So this greeting is going to have return hello there. I used to call this dot first name, then this dot last name. Okay. So it has this person object now have a property, and method is only one proper method, that is called greeting. Okay. So if I come back, I'll just create a class customer. Okay. Customer. So I want to extend some methods and property to this class. Okay, so what from where I'm going to extend some property from to this customer class. Okay, so you want to give extend from where? The person. Okay, person. So here the constructor of the customer is going to have first name, last name, what we added there, phone number, I think, then membership, right? Membership, I think that is what we added, I think, right? Yeah, first name, last name, phone number, and membership. Okay, the same thing. We added first name, last name, phone number, membership, but this first name and last name is coming from the person. Okay, so how can I call the first name and last name of the from the person? Okay, to call, what you want to do, want to put super method here. Okay, the super keyword. So this is going to take what are the methods you're going to call from the person. You already extended the object from the you already extended from person. Okay, I just want to give, so what property you need from the person object. So I want to pass here the first name. first name and the last name. Okay, so now this customer object going to have this first name and last name. So here I can go put this dot phone equal to phone, then this dot membership is equal to membership. So now we'll just see what how this customer object is look like. Okay, so I'll just copy this, coming back here, console dot log was customer. Okay, if I put customer here, you see I'm calling the customer only, not the person. Coming back here, I'll just put this dot slash subclasses. Customer constructor cannot be invoked with a new keyword. Okay, I'm just not using the new keyword here. I'll just create a new customer, const John equal to new customer. So I'll just create an empty object here. So I'll put John here. If I put John, I want to get empty object. The first name, last name, phone number, membership. Even though now we have first name and last name the customer object. Remember that. Okay, in the prototype you see the constructor is customer only, but the prototype is person. You see, the prototype is person. Basically, we extend something from the customer object, but the constructor basically is equal to the customer only. These are all the things what they are basically taking out. Okay, if we come back here in the inheritance, what we did here, we just change the customer prototype constructor to customer. These are the problem what we have in the ES5, not the problem. So this work like that way, this is work like this way. Okay, so basically they created some new syntax to solve all this problem, kind of this messy code and all. Okay, that's what. But you should want to understand this properly. If you understand this properly, this is very easy. Okay, this is not a big deal to understand. So what we did, we created the customer. So I want to extend some property from the customer. I'm extending from the person. Here I created the constructor. What are the things I want to get from the person? Only the first name and the last name. So this start phone, this start membership. We did all these customer. So I created the John new customer. I have the object here. Everything is fine now, right? So that's all. Everything is fine. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here. So here I'll just create a static, not a static. We'll just leave this. So we'll check if that greet is now having the greeting method or not. When I call the greeting, now this customer is not having any greeting. It's going to look for the person object, and it's going to return this person. It's coming from the greeting from here. Okay, if I come back here, you see hello there, undefined. I want to pass something here. So in the greeting, I'll put what, John, then do, then I'll put 5, then I'll put standard. Okay, so if I come back here, I can get hello. What, why still is not this greeting? Hello there. Okay. This is not coming. Okay, I think I passed that in a greeting. Sorry. I want to pass it here. The customer. Okay, so the greeting is basically returning hello there. They start first name and last name. We're going to look for the first name and last name. It should return hello there and John and Doe. Okay, so we can also have the greeting method here. For example, if you used to put greeting here, okay, this greeting is going to return. Where is that? This, I'll call this one. I'll just copy this and we'll paste here. So this customers now have this own greeting. Okay, in the first step, it's going to check this object. If it has greeting here, okay, it's going to run this greeting method only, not this one. Then what it do, basically, if this customer doesn't have this greeting method, it's going to look for the person object. Why? Because we extended the person here. So if there is no property here, it's going to look for person. In the person also, if there is no greeting method, it's going to return an error. That's it. Okay, so if I look this, So now I'll get hello there, John Doe, welcome to our company. And also I'll put the customer here in the bottom. I'll console log the John here. Okay. So if I try to put the John, now this customer is contains the prototype of greeting here. This is the customer prototype. Okay. Remember, this is the customer prototype. I will take this out now. Just I will command this. Now it's going to return hello there, John Doe. Now if I open this, we cannot able to see any now you see here in the here we cannot able to see, but if I open that in the constructor person, I have the greeting. So what the basically the prototype is doing, this customer is going to check for the customer constructor customer method prototype. It's not, this doesn't going to have anything. Okay, then it's going to look for the bottom prototype. Okay, so here we have the greeting. So now it's no, okay, here we have the method. We're gonna return the thing. What should return hello there and the first name and last name. If I take this out, okay, it's gonna, there is no prototype. The John dot greeting is, there is no greeting into that. Okay, it's basically check for this object and this object also, but it couldn't find any greeting. So that's what it's returning. Greeting is not a function. Okay, I think we'll set, I will give you some example. Wait 1 minute. I think person the syntax is something different. Don't worry about this. Just 1 minute. I'll just forgot the syntax. There is one way to, so it's gonna do the native code, right? So here is equal to hello. Have the hello here. Console.log is equal to test equal to function test just put that. Okay, wait, I will show you one thing. So 1 minute. We'll try this working or not. I don't know if it will work or not. This one, this person, I want to create a new instance here. So we'll take this new person. This one is Mary. Don't want this. So we try to call the Mary here. What the Mary is going to have. So the Mary object gonna have the prototype inside this prototype. Dot prototype. So here we have prototype of greeting. There is another way. I don't know how to do that. Basically, so has the greeting proto or I don't know how to do that. Just 1 minute. I will explain you what I'm doing, so that will give you some clear idea how the prototype is basically works. So wait 1 minute. Forgot the syntax how to do that. It's returning the native code is equal to person.proto. This is returning the window object. So this returns the native code. So here we'll check the person.prototype constructor. Okay, so the constructor dot proto used to put what I'm gonna get. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is what I need. Okay, so if you see now, I'll just give you some clear example. Okay, I will just give you some clear example now. What I do, so we basically have what we have here. So we basically have the person greeting here. Okay, this has a own greeting. This greeting return hello there, first name and last name. Now this customer has the own greeting of this customer object. So this returns hello there, welcome to our company. Okay, if I take this out, okay, if I take this out, what's going to print? It's going to print this one, right? It's going to check for this object. if it couldn't find from the greeting here, it's going to check for the person. Why? Because we extended from the person to this customer. Now it's going to check this. So if we come back here, it's going to return hello there John Doe, right? So this is okay. But if I take this also out, it's going to return error. Okay, because there is no greeting. That's what it's returning. John greeting is not a function. It couldn't able to find the greeting method in anywhere of this object and also in this object. So it's returned the error. Okay. If I open this customer, okay, and also the person, this prototype has a prototype. So it has a greeting here. When I open this, there is another prototype here. You see, this is the base prototype. Every object is going to have the base prototype. Here, you see the syntax, okay? The constructor, own property, prototype, everything is here, okay? What I do, I'll just console log person prototype proto. Don't worry about this. Don't get confused about this. Just we don't use the syntax anywhere in your when you're creating application on that. So I just want the learning for education purpose only. I'm just teaching this. So person.prototype is basically constructor. So I'll just put the person.prototype for now. So the person.prototype, you know, that is a greeting, right? So this is the prototype of the person. What is the proto? The base. I want to get the proto. Okay, the proto is the base object prototype. So here I could get the constructor, all these things. Okay, here what I'm going to do, I'll just make a equal to greeting equal to one method. I'm going to create a new method to the base function. Okay, base object. So here what I put in the greeting, I'll just give this hello there, take out this proto. Okay, hello there from base proto. Okay, now we cannot able to see anything here, but if I open the person, you see now this person has a greeting, this proto has a prototype. So if I open this, where is the constructor? Wait 1 minute. We'll do the console.log here. Console.log person person not the wait. Okay, yeah, I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. So come back and see. Now it's returning the greeting, right? Yeah. I want to equal to, not equal to, I think. I want to set dot, I think. I actually I didn't, I forgot the syntax. I don't know why I forgot the syntax. Equal to the proto, the prototype dot proto. We just basically set some new thing, right? So we set some new thing there. Okay. Now you see this, when I call the person dot proto, okay, now it is returning, basically it is returning the function, the greeting function. Okay. There is a greeting object here. So now what I do, I'll just take this out. Okay. I'll just command this greeting also. And this greeting also, I think now it will work. John greeting is not a function. Okay, so basically the syntax is wrong. I don't know, I forgot the syntax. So I will give you the example tomorrow. Okay, because it is very kind of like we cannot able to see anywhere this kind of syntax, I hope. So I get that from one Medium page, so that I have some remember of how these things will work. So tomorrow I will explain you why this why we are having some error like this. Okay, basically what it's going to happen, so it's going to look for the chain, okay, to the downside. So now if this customer is going, if this customer contains the greeting, it's going to take from here. If it is not, it's going to look for the person. So here we have the greeting. So if there is no greeting in this person also, it's going to return what? There is no function for the greeting and also. Now it's returning hello there John Doe, welcome to our company. So everything is okay, right? So go and practice this. So today class is over. Okay, tomorrow I will give you the clear example. So tomorrow I will go and create a new project using this object flow for what we learn. So kind of book list project. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start to create a project and all. So now we have hello there John Doe, welcome to our company. Now we understand there is in what we learned from 1 to 5. So we created using ES5. Now we created using ES6. Okay, but the syntax is different. So that's all. This concept or everything same. we just take example of the person object. We did everything what we did into the ES5. The same object, the same example I did for this ES6 classes and subclasses. I hope I just made you some confusion here. So don't worry about that. Tomorrow I will give you that example. Okay. So what I'm just coming to explain. So that is very important. I don't know for you. I'm just teaching. For some other people, I'm not gonna take this. So I want to let you know how the basically the under the hood things are working. So tomorrow I will give you that example. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I will push the code in GitHub. So you understand, right? Today
Yes,
concept.
sir. Is there any documentation of ES6?
No, you can find like W3 school. You just follow the W3 school itself. So that is a good one.
Okay.
So this tutorial, if you go get into this constructor, I think the version object function. Yeah, you see the classes. Okay. So you can find all these things from here. ECMAS 2015, also known ES6, introduced in Java classes or template for JavaScript object. Class keyword to create a classes, add methods and name, add a method name called constructor. So this is very good. Okay, you just go and follow this. So that's all. Okay, so you can get the inheritance. So the inheritance is basically what we created a person and we have a customer. So they basically have the car and present. So this is now not having the present, right? So basically they're calling the brand from this car. So they in the model they extended the car, and the constructor we have the brand and model. So they basically call the constructor from the brand only. Okay, from this car. Then model is mod. So show returns present. Oh, yeah, okay, they are basically called the present here. You see, return this dot present. Okay, it's going to take this return. I have this car, and it is a this dot model. Okay, this is also a good example, I think. Look, let my car new model Ford and Mustang. They're gonna get this. I have a car name Ford, and it is a Mustang model like that. Okay, so that's all. So go and take a look of this. Okay, so you'll just understand what is basically happening. So npm start get
Thank you, sir.
what happened. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, I didn't add that file. Okay. Okay, go and practice. Okay, so these are all very basic concept only. We are not getting to any complex logic and all. We're gonna have a big project at the end of the session. But if you want to understand that properly, you gonna need to understand these all basic concept. Okay, we are not getting to any advanced level of logical thinking and all. We're learning the programming, how this programming is working. Okay, using some kind of small logic and the things, the syntax, everything. So just go and follow this. Okay, so we'll connect tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you.